All right. Yes. Hello. Welcome. It's been a minute to Jump Cuts. Today is Sunday, May 18th, 2025, as I am streaming this. And today I am joined by two great members of Bomb Squad, one who's been here before and one here for the first time.
Hello.
Absolutely.
It's Rein.
And I'm Tanner. Richard Kraft, that's right. And we're here to discuss the latest and greatest in movie news. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done the show. A month ago, I was lazy. 2 weeks ago, I was dealing with stuff, but I'm here now. And we're just going to get right into the news. You guys excited?
Yeah, because there's no death on the docket this time.
I need to stop every time someone dies. I like put it on the docket and I talk about it on the show and I go, wow, I feel shitty now. Why'd I bring that up?
Especially because it's always the first thing.
Yeah, in my mindset, it's like, well, I can't save it to the end because then I'm making jokes and then all of a sudden it's like, and then he died. I can't be doing that. But today
we gotta study the structure of 60 minutes and figure out where we place these things.
We gotta 60 minutes has this shit down to a science.
The in memoriam section.
Well, speaking of the in memoriam, the Oscars have an in memoriam section.
Oh yeah.
And our first topic of the night is not about death, but of creation, which is that in time for the 100th Academy Awards, that is not true, chat. Chat is making baseless accusations right now. But just in time for the 100th Academy Awards, the Academy is establishing a stunt design award. The Oscar of which will not go to the performance, but I believe the stunt supervisor or whoever is in charge of the stunt department will get the award. Duh. It's a shame that they couldn't figure this out in time for any of the Jackass movies. Even though I feel like those could never win, but like at least they would be nominated, so we could say that Jackass 3D is an Academy Award nominated film. Yeah. That would feel right in my heart.
Surely the new crew will be like Jackass, the new generation, son of Jackass.
Johnny Knoxville is gonna die doing a stunt. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If he dies making a Jackass movie, do you think they'll release the movie? Because I feel like that's what Johnny would want. But like, would they feel right releasing it?
It doesn't matter if they feel right releasing it; they got to do it.
It's what Johnny would have wanted.
I don't think
it's in Johnny's will.
It's literally just Johnny's will. It says nothing except finish the movie.
Yeah.
Even if he dies, like not in the context of a movie, it's finish the movie.
There's definitely situations where it would be like a moral gray area, but I feel like that is definitely one where it's like, oh no, clearly we gotta just still release it. Like that's clearly what he would want.
Yeah.
Like it's really questionable that like Alec Baldwin and co finished Rust or whatever. Yeah. Like that is like morally dubious. I can believe the argument that the DP would have wanted that. I feel like if I died making a movie, that's what I would have wanted, regardless of what my role was. But like, unless you're in a situation like me where I just said that on the record, you can't really know for certain.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's a case by case thing. Leaning on most people would probably. I think most creatives would want it to be released unless it's like they died because of something terrible, and I don't know, like with Rust.
Yeah, like Rust is a unique situation. If she died in like a more non-negligent accident, that'd be one thing. If it wasn't caused by negligence.
These episodes with death.
We were not going to do it.
Hey,
we literally made fun of the fact that I'm doing it.
We were so close. We were so close.
Jesus, my bad.
Anyway, stunts.
I'm happy. This upcoming Oscars, the 2026 Oscars, we're getting the casting director Oscar, which is an awesome one. I'm curious how that one's going to be interpreted. Is it going to be like ensemble almost, or is it going to truly be like how'd you get? That one's going to be interesting to look at. Watch out! I guarantee you that ensemble cast award is going to go to a lot of foreign language movies where none of the actors get nominated. What the Academy fucking loves doing. But I'm really curious to see what the stunt design award looks like. Oscars adding more categories is great for an Oscars nerd like me. I know you guys don't care. You are right to not care. I'm just a nerd about this, so it's cool.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I'm glad. I'm happy.
Yeah, like I don't really care about the Oscars as a ceremony, but I do appreciate, other areas getting their dues and getting their recognition. That particularly casting is interesting to me because, like, when I started at film school, casting for film was the first class I took, so I got a little bit more appreciation into what goes into that. So it's cool that they're getting their dues. It's cool the stunts are getting their dues. I think we've talked about this before, but like it is crazy that they're doing this after the last Mission Impossible movie.
They waited until the year that it was coming out to announce it. I'm sitting here thinking Tom's actually going to finally do that space movie to make sure he wins this.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all cool. This is all good. This is all cool and good. Good and cool.
Yes.
I mean, it won't be for another few years, so we don't know what's gonna win this award for the first one, but I'm really curious to see what movie it'll be. Will this, like, because like the VFX award is the unofficial give something to the blockbuster movies category. Will this also turn into another give something to the blockbusters category? And also, if I were to do one critique of this, I don't love that it's a stunt design award. I don't know how you would do this, but there's hair and makeup, even though hair and makeup are two different fields technically. I think the Academy should recognize choreography, action choreography, dancing choreography. And will they recognize that in this category regardless, or are they going to ignore that kind of thing?
I was just about to say, you're saying this could be another give it to the blockbuster category, but on top of like being the action movie award, I could also just as easily see it being the musical award too.
It depends on how
I would assume. I would hope. I mean, there's probably more action movies I like than musicals, but I would still feel, it'd still be pretty shitty.
But it's stunt design, not choreography, so like.
Yeah, but like the way the way fight scenes are filmed are effectively like very similar to the way like dance scenes are filmed.
I would agree.
Like like a martial arts fight and a dance scene, like there's kind of a similar mindset to them when you're.
We'll find out when they start nominating movies for this category, I guess. And another thing to keep in mind is that I'm assuming, like most Oscar categories, the nominees of this branch are not going to be determined by the Academy at large. It's going to be determined by people in that field. So people that are in the Academy in the stunt department, I imagine, are going to be the ones determining the nominees. So is that going to influence things? Depends on who gets put in that branch.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's going to be interesting to see. And I'm excited to see that. Speaking of things that I am excited to see, however, fellas, my friends, a little movie trailer released this week for a little ragtag movie in July called Superman. The trailer finally, the full trailer. We've had the teaser trailer. Now we have the full trailer. It dropped this week. And, my hair is a mess. Sorry. I want to know fellas, this is going to be like the greatest fucking movie ever, right? Like, right.
It's been,
I will say,
so long since a superhero movie has gotten me excited, like really excited. And here it is. Superman.
Tim does not care for this cape shit, so if he's excited, that means something.
Yeah, I'm just like, you guys are making me feel things about superhero shit again.
Both trailers have made me cry. Both trailers have made me cry.
I am extremely excited for this. Very hyped. Some of the most hyped I've been for a movie in, in a very long time. But I will say, yeah, I thought it was a good trailer, but it didn't really raise my excitement any more than it already was. Maybe it's because I'm already at critical mass, or
Yeah,
maybe because it's
I
just
think
like I don't know,
that's
it didn't hit me as hard as the first one did.
It's maintaining my
fair.
excitement. Nothing's gonna top like the way that first trailer made me feel. I literally, when we saw Sonic 3 in theaters, like Joe told me he could play the Superman trailer again after the movie ended, and I was like, can you? Because I wanted to watch that first trailer again. This one, I mean, I've been listening to the music from it on a loop, but like, dog, I could watch that first teaser 10 times in a row, and every time that little boy would hug that flag and whisper Superman, I would start sobbing. This one only made me cry the first 2 times.
I appreciate getting it, more of a look into what some of the conflicts of the story will be. Nothing like shocking, but it's still nice to see that covered. Good idea of what this Lois and Clark's dynamic is going to be. But yeah, I agree. Nothing hit as emotionally as the little kid from the first one.
Superman.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at too. Like, it didn't necessarily raise my excitement, but I'm already sold. I'm already seated. They're trying to kick me out of the theater, but I'm simply too seated.
I'm simply too seated. They're scared. They're asking me to leave, but I will not. Tim and I were talking about like having the whole bomb squad minus Rein, the loser that lives in Los Angeles, seeing Superman on opening night at the Marcus de Pear Cinema. And the reason why we're talking about seeing it there is because it'd be the same theater James Gunn saw the original Superman movie in, which would be cool.
Yeah, yes. I'm definitely in favor of doing that. Plus, De Pear was like my childhood theater, and I go there monthly for the late night grindhouse thing. But like every time I go there, it's just like I remember this was the theater I always went to as a kid. This was where I saw Toy Story 2 or whatever.
Are you like me, Tim, where you can go to that theater and you get sad seeing the soda machines where Han Solo used to be?
I mostly get sad at seeing the bar where the arcade used to be.
Oh, you know what melons me out? Have you? I think it's theater 10 or 11 at De Pear. It still has a Warenberg crown at the top of the screen. Because it's where that remember that like under 20, what was it called? The 5-star. They had that special. They had that like deliver food to your seat thing in one theater at that theater before that was like the norm.
I don't think I was conscious of that. They might have started doing that. You
had to have been at least 21 to go into it. It was a 21 and over theater. Screen, I guess, technically.
That might have happened like after I stopped regularly going to that theater. I don't know.
I barely ever went to this theater, so I have nothing to add.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, the only thing one of these trailers could do to me at this point is like make me unexcited. Like show me something so horrible, I go, oh God.
Robert Downey Jr. is Brainiac.
Wait, hold on. That actually isn't bad. That would work, kinda.
Yeah.
I will say I do appreciate the look they gave us at Lex. Because it's a Lex that actually looks like fucking Lex and not whatever Jesse Eisenberg. That man was trying so hard at whatever he was doing.
It was interesting. I'll give him that.
It was interesting. It was not Lex, but it was interesting.
Yeah, I'm like so locked in on this. I love how Lex Luthor appears to just be seething mad at Superman's mere existence. Like that Superman. He's not a man, he's an it. But the thing that really sold me, like has 100% sold me on David Cornsweth, by the way, is at the beginning where he's just like, go ahead, Cronkite. And then she goes, Superman, and he goes, Miss Lane. Like the way his posture changes, the way his voice shifts. I'm like, he gets it. He gets it.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Henry Cavill. Mild disrespect to Henry Cavill, actually. The more I'm seeing of Dave and Corn Sweat, the more I'm wondering, like, remember in Batman v Superman where like the Capitol building blew up and instead of trying to save people, he just stood there aura farming?
Yeah. You know, it's not Cavill's fault. It's Snyder's fault.
And
maybe it's a little Cavill's
interesting
fault.
I think it's a tiny bit Cavill's fault.
Yeah.
As I go back through his filmography, I realized the only performance of his that's ever really like moved me is when he played a villain in Mission Impossible. I don't know. Anyway, my point being, but it's interesting to bring up Snyder because something I'm thinking about is like, what does Superman represent in a modern context? What does it mean when Superman goes to a foreign country and tries to make matters into his own hands when, for better or for worse, he is a representative of the United States, even if he doesn't want to? And I hear shit like that, and I'm like, you know what? This is the type of shit Snyder was trying to talk about, but honestly kind of stumbled his way through. With all respect, I actually really like Man of Steel. I really like that movie.
I don't.
It often feels like I like it in spite of what it's trying to be.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I like that movie because Hans Zimmer went the fuck off with his Superman score.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, best part of the movie, without a doubt.
The
worst thing that
you think it's impossible to beat John Williams, and then Hans Zimmer does this, and now this actually kind of transitions into like the one thing that I don't think I have a problem with, but like I understand if you do. This trailer's really leaning into the Williams theme.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of doing its own thing. Except to me, especially that first thing they released like a week before the teaser trailer, there was that motion poster with the music. And I remember thinking it felt like a blend of the Williams theme, the Zimmer theme, and something new.
I thought so. Yeah.
But like this trailer, it's like there's a lot of there was a lot of that. And it was awesome. Don't get me wrong. Hold on. Rein, you say something because you were trying to say something while I look this up.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the worst thing you can say about the Hans Zimmer Superman theme is that the John Williams one exists. Like, but it wasn't for that. It's a great Superman theme, I think.
I've spent an hour of my life listening to that Superman theme since the trailer dropped.
Man, truly, we're all fake fans.
That 100% tracks
compared to comparison.
And like I'm probably never gonna listen to it again because like the next trailer probably gonna have a new version, and then when the movie finally comes out, we'll have the full version, and that'll be all fucking. I'm so excited for this movie. Honestly, July's looking good. We'll get into that a little later, but like Superman looks fucking awesome. The costume looks perfect. The cast looks perfect. They made Guy Gardner look cool, which should be impossible. So clearly James Gunn is doing witchcraft. But yeah. Moving on.
Good time.
Moving on.
It will be.
Rein, you like hate music, right?
This is news to me, but for the sake of the bit, I agree.
I say you hate music because I've never heard Rein say a nice thing about Weezer.
I like Buddy Holly, I guess.
Great fucking song. Dude, my favorite Weezer song is My Name is Jonas. The Blue album is a fucking amazing album. I don't care what anyone says. Pinkerton's weird. Why did he say those damn half Japanese girls get me every time? That was a fucking insane thing to say. But then he later married a half Japanese girl, and I wonder, man, what does his wife think about all this? There's the whole thing with Weezer's bassist getting into a shootout with the cops. Anyway, they're making his wife, yeah. They're making a Weezer movie. And Keanu Reeves has been cast as the villain.
I'm glad. I hope he's playing himself.
Well, Rein, I'm so glad you bring that up because chances are he probably is playing himself. And here's why.
Yeah, it'll be a battle. Will it be a battle of the bands between Weezer and Dogstar? I think that's the name of his band.
Weezer's first ever gig was opening for Dogstar. That is a true statement. That is a fact. The first thing Weezer ever did as a band in public was open for Dogstar.
That's hilarious.
Which makes me think that Keanu Reeves is playing a heightened douchebag version of himself.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
I gave you guys your career. Yeah,
I'm
no,
the
that's
reason
fun.
Weezer exists. They even have announced like who's playing fucking Rivers Cuomo. Hold on. Oh, we do know. All right, hold on. Cross between Scott Pilgrim versus the World and We're the Al Yankovic Story. Interesting. The Weezer movie will reportedly star Juliette Lewis, Eric Andre, Ben Schwartz, and Johnny Knoxville. Please tell me Johnny Knoxville's playing Rivers Cuomo. Johnny Knoxville needs to play the lead singer of Weezer.
No, that yeah, no, that I don't know what's funnier, him or Eric Andre playing the.
Eric Andre
he needs.
should play the drummer.
I don't know any of the other band members, so I can't appreciate the joke. But
They're all
I don't know
white.
if he'd be as fun. Yeah, I figured because it's Weezer.
All right, man.
I'm gonna be real. I don't know shit about Weezer.
What's your favorite Weezer song?
Yeah, but the cast is pretty good. Might be fun.
What do you think of their cover of Africa?
Yeah.
What do you think of Hash Pipe?
You sure are saying things.
You a big Scott Schreiner fan?
Say It Ain't So's okay.
Yeah!
I know
That's what we
one.
want to hear! That's what I paid for! I'll be honest, even though I've been gone for a month and a half, there wasn't a ton of movie news. I had to kind of scrap for some shit, and I was like, sure, we'll talk about the Weezer movie. That may or may not exist, by the way. This hasn't been, like, officially announced. This could be all bullshit.
God damn.
That definitely seems like a Tanner story, though, so clearly it had to be mentioned.
What? You think I come off as a big Weezer guy?
Yes.
Are you only bringing that up because I'm able to name multiple members of the band?
Maybe just a smidge. But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of something like Weird the Al Yankovic Story adjacent, and I don't know. Eric Andre is always funny. I'll see him in basically anything.
It's definitely way better than just like your standard Cradle to Grave biopic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was really funny is that this news came out around the same time Scott Schreiner's wife got caught up in that police shootout thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it almost made me wonder, did this news come out to distract or?
Yeah, it's like, hey, hey, Keanu, can you do us a solid, a second solid?
Well, what's funny is that a few years ago, when Dogstar reunited, they've opened a few shows for Weezer, which is really funny to me. Like the day it got announced was like a week after the wife thing, so people were making jokes like, "Yeah, I heard they started shooting last week" and stuff like that. So like,
LOL.
Rein, you were in LA when that all went down. What do you think of this?
I have about the movie or about the shooting or
The shooting.
either or.
Where were you, Rein? They're still working for one of the other assailants.
How did I find out about it? I don't know.
Surely it had to have been from me.
I found out about it. I didn't hear about it any sooner than anyone else, probably. Just because I was in LA.
You weren't there. You weren't there.
No. Yeah, I know it's a small town.
I've never been to LA, so I can only imagine everyone lives on the same road, and that's where all the Hollywood Walk of Fame is.
Yeah, of course.
I think you're right outside the Sean Combs star, Rein.
How do you know? You're doxing me.
I think they've only ever removed one star in the Walk of Fame's history, and it was like fucking. Was it Spacey's? Might have been Spacey's.
That's another thing about Superman. It'll be awesome for Nicholas Hoult to be great, so then I can not have to say that Kevin Spacey was the best live action Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Apparently, they have never removed a star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it kind of sucks that like the best Lex Luthor performance in movies in the 21st century is unfortunately Kevin Spacey.
I think he's better. I haven't seen Smallville. I know everyone loves him in Smallville,
Yeah,
but I think he's better than.
I said movie. That's why I said movie. That's why I said movie.
Yeah, but you said 21st Century. I think he's better than blanking on the name of the actor, but the
Eisenberg.
No, or the Reeves Superman.
You think he's better than Hackman?
I mean, I think Hackman's a better actor, but I do think
you big Kevin Spacey fan, Rein?
I like his Lex more.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Listen, I'll say this: Kevin Spacey is one of those actors, much like James Woods, where he's great at playing a piece of shit because he is one.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is good at playing nuanced pieces of shit too, though. You guys ever seen Margin Call? Great movie.
Have not.
I'm like so 2008 recession pilled that like I be watching Margin Call and The Big Short like once every 6 months.
That's something.
You guys want to hear about the housing crisis? I could talk about it for a while.
I'm all
Let's do that after the recording.
When Tim can leave. All right. Well, let's move on to the next subject, a movie that I pretty sure Tim gives maybe the tiniest shit about. I think Rein is kind of on my wavelength about.
Let's see.
Which is we got the official trailer. So there are 2 big superhero movies coming out in July. You have the Superman trailer that came out this week, but like maybe about 3 or 4 weeks ago, we got the first full-length trailer for the Fantastic Four: First Steps. I'll just say this really quick. I'm a huge fan of the Fantastic Four in the comics, which makes it all the more frustrating that the best Fantastic Four movie is either Rise of the Silver Surfer or the 90s one they made but never intended to release. Those are my options for best one. So the fact that this one looks really good, it's doing a lot of cool, interesting stuff. Like there's like a ton of miniature work. I think some of the shots of Galactus are actually going to be a guy in a suit.
Oh shit.
I think this looks great. I think the cast looks great. I think Marvel understood that they had to get the Fantastic Four right, because if they fuck up the Fantastic Four this time, they're just never going to make another movie. Like it'll be done. They will never put them in a movie again if they fuck this one up. I think it's crazy cool that I remember when they announced that Matt Shakeman, the director of WandaVision, was given the Fantastic Four, and I went, oh, they just gave it to a TV guy. But everything I've heard since then has made me more excited, and the trailer looks great. What say you guys? Tim, I know you're not really a Cape guy, and you're especially not a Marvel guy.
I mean, I'm interested in this, mainly for Ralph Ineson as Galactus. I will listen to that man's voice in anything. I love his deep British evil sounding voice. And Cody is in it for Pedro Pascal. I'm also in it for Pedro Pascal.
Love him.
But I do agree. It looks good, and like I did watch Thunderbolts this week, and I wasn't super over the moon about it, but like I'm interested in this one. I'm excited to see what they do with it, and it looks like it will be neat and cool.
I thought. Okay, I'll give my thoughts.
Rain's not excited. That'd be so funny. I've been texting Rein excitedly, assuming he was on my page. What if he just tells me right here, right now? I actually think this looks like shit.
I'm excited, but not. All right, so like, even though Superman is probably my favorite superhero, and I love him, because he's like horny and wholesome and all that. He's just all about being a good, nice guy. But oddly enough, I'm not a big Fantastic Four person. I should be for like all the same reasons. I don't know why it is. So like as a kid, I say this a lot. Like I went through my edgy phase like extremely early. And like I just like I liked my Ghost Rider, my Deadpool, Venom. I like those characters as a kid. But like Fantastic Four and Superman, I hated them. I thought that they were so like lame and dumb.
Fucking rock guy loser.
But like once I got past all that stuff, as a teenager, I did learn to appreciate Superman and really like him. But I don't dislike Fantastic Four, but like that discovery of like, oh, I actually love this character. That just never happened to me with Fantastic Four. Granted, I haven't really tried. Eventually, I want to try and get around to. I don't remember the name of the writer, but I know like in the 2000s they had like a very like extremely like beloved run that Fantastic Four did. I'm sure if I gave them a chance, it's I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I forget what.
I mean, I think the original Lee Kirby stuff is also amazing.
Yeah.
I really like Jonathan Hickman's work with the Fantastic Four.
I think that's who I'm thinking of.
I also this is again another old school one. John Byrne did some great stuff. Mark Waid also did some great stuff. Hickman's probably what you're thinking about, though. It's probably Hickman.
Yeah, because I did read some of his Secret Wars, the 2015 one. So because that's where I think his run ended with that. If I remember. Anyway, point is, haven't given them enough of a chance, as like their own thing to really like them. So I'm not really liking. I'm not my appreciation for the show has nothing to do with that. But it is like it definitely like it's safe to say this will have to be one of the better Marvel movies, at least one of the better ones post Endgame, because you can tell like at the very least maybe it's just the set design like or the production design in general.
There is set design. There is production design. It's clear that there was more intent than with some of this other Marvel stuff. I think I'm going to have to do like a full like top to bottom rewatch post like before the new Avengers movies comes out, because when I was looking at my list the other day, a lot of the post in-game stuff was in like the upper half, and I was just like, why am I this out of sync with everybody? Am I wrong?
No, well, I guess I'll get to that in a second. I think and I'll get to that now. I do think if a lot of the movies that have been released post Endgame were before Endgame, I think they would be a lot more beloved, and then like a lot of the weaker or at least more mid Marvel movies pre Endgame would be like more hated if they were released post Endgame. I do think there's a lot of fact to that.
I do think superhero fatigue is affecting people's opinions, and I never got sick. I never got fatigued. So the stuff I liked, I still like. I guarantee you, if Thunderbolts came out in like 2018, oh my god, like the response we're seeing already is kind of pretty rapturous. It'd be next level. Like a big thing for me is people will look me dead in the eyes and say the first Black Panther is better than Wakanda Forever. They will look me in the eyes and say that.
It's crazy. I think that is probably the majority opinion.
Which is crazy to me. That is crazy to me.
I think it's because that one felt more special, and also because it felt like more of an event, whereas the second one definitely didn't feel like nearly as much of an event.
And that's fair, but like it looks incredible. It's better. Yeah. The third act doesn't turn into a PS2 cutscene. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Fantastic Four. Yeah, I think maybe the reason, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's like, oh, well, when you see a movie with like really solid production design, you're like, well, if they nail that, then like chances are they also probably nailed, the script and the directing and everything else being on point. But I mean, that's not necessarily true, but it does. I think that's
it bodes well.
Yeah, it's a good sign. This it looks like it's going to be much more well cooked. They really, than in a good way than most of the Marvel movies are. It also has like actual cohesive like visual identity, which is like my biggest problem with the MCU probably.
There's a very strong visual identity. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to say, I did see an interesting take about the Silver Surfer in this movie, which like. It's cool that we get in the female Silver Surfer. I don't know the character's name offhand.
Silver Surfer.
That's like correct. But I know that's like an actual thing from the comics. The female Silver Surfer.
It's not just not just a gender swap. It's a whole different character.
Right. And like that's cool and all, but somebody pointed out that the design might work more if she was bald. I think that could have been interesting. That makes sense.
It would have, but they're not going to let Julia Garner be bald. Which, by the way, Julia Garner, Silver Surfer, inspired casting. I don't care what anyone says. I'm on board with that. You know what? What really makes me excited is like seeing all the cast interact with each other. they are 100% nailing the family dynamics. I believe that this is a family that loves and cares about each other. Only the 90s unreleased movie even kind of comes close to capturing that. And even as someone that like really likes Rise of the Silver Surfer, I really do like that one. They're always bickering the whole fucking movie. They're yelling at each other.
Which you can technically say makes it a realistic family dynamic.
Yeah, but like,
not one you would you want to watch.
I don't like the scene where Reed Richards gets like twerked on in the club. I don't like that. That's weird. Yeah. I do think it's funny that all the girls get wide-eyed when he enlarges his fingers, and that just kind of went way over my head as a kid. And then you rewatch it as an adult, and you go, "Oh, I understand what's going on here." I too would get excited.
It is a great it's a great depiction of men not realizing, like, they're just like autistically ranting about a topic.
Reed Rism with the tism Reed.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm gonna say it. Miles Teller, Mr. Fantastic, gave me school shooter vibes.
I never saw Fantastic, so I can't.
You want to watch it with me? You and I should watch it for a commentary track in anticipation of the new one.
I'd definitely be down for that.
Tim, we're roping you into that.
Nah.
I'm sure we can. I'm sure. Yeah.
I don't think I want Joe there. Joe's only kind of fun for the bad Marvel movies if it's one he likes for some reason. He kept Daredevil tolerable. If it wasn't for him being like, well, I like this part, I would have lost my mind way sooner doing that track.
Yeah.
Daredevil.
Wake me up inside.
Can't wake up. But yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps looks great. We're 40 minutes in and we've gone through 4 topics. We're doing great. Tim, this next topic is one you wanted to talk about. How about you tell the people?
Yes. So, fans of the show, if you watched or listened to our recent episode on Beyond the Black Rainbow, you probably remember me and Austin and our guest Stephen Tronchak talking about how much we want Panos to finally make another movie. And we're finally getting some more news on one of the 2 movies he has in pre-production, Flesh of the Gods. They have officially added Elizabeth Olsen to the cast of Flesh of the Gods, which previously was just Oscar Isaac and Kristen Stewart had been announced for that. I'm excited just to get more news about this movie. I'm excited to hear that more things are happening with it. I'm also excited for Elizabeth Olsen, because I know she was like talking around the time of WandaVision that like she had to turn down a lot of, art film projects because she was stuck doing Marvel stuff. And so it's cool that she gets to, do another like art film kind of thing with a director with a very specific auteur vision. And yeah, I think it's neat. And any thoughts?
Strongly agree. I wish I don't love Mandy as much as Tim, that's for certain, but I don't think anyone does. Strongly.
I don't even think the director loves Mandy as much as Tim loves Mandy.
That's true, but I do love the movie dearly. It might even be in my like top 20 if I had to like or make it like a top 20 favorite movies list. It might be. I could see it making the cut. But who doesn't love vampires? Great year for we all love vampires, don't we, folks? I can't do a Trump voice. But
the late great Count Dracula, we love him. Don't
the
we,
late
folks?
Great Count Dracula, folks. He lives in Transylvania. I am instituting a 3,000% tariff on Transylvania. Their blood exports, no more.
But yeah, I mean, I don't have anything super specific to say other than I'm very extremely happy, and also nice for Elizabeth Olsen to stretch those, be able to work out those acting skills on fun stuff she'd be passionate about.
Yeah, like I do love how like if you really think about it, Sam Raimi delivered Elizabeth Olsen to Panos Cosmatos, and I love that for all three of them.
Nobody has shown more resentment of the MCU post leaving it more than Elizabeth Olsen. I'll just say that. Which makes it all the funnier that all the Wanda stands are like, she's coming back any day now. She does not want to.
Yeah, like the way they killed her off in Multiverse of Madness, it's like the off-screen death that obviously they're coming back, but maybe not this one.
Elizabeth clearly does not want to come back. I will say I'm excited for this, mostly because it's cool that a guy like can't say his name gets a cast. Cosmatos has a he gets Olsen, but if I understand correctly, it's this is already a cast with Kristen Stewart and Oscar fucking Isaac.
Yeah.
Which is a crazy stacked cast to me, so that's really cool. I liked Color Out of Space more than Mandy, so I don't know what my opinion is worth on this topic.
Fair enough. This seems like it's gonna be one that's gonna like appeal to the Cosmatos stands like me and Andy Triefenbach, but also to like people who were, maybe more normie horror fans. It seems like it's gonna cast a wider net.
Yeah, my only question at this point, I do wonder if it's gonna be like, because he's only made 2 movies, right?
He's made 2 like proper features. And then the one episode of Cabinet of Curiosities, which is technically feature-length thing, but it's part of an anthology show.
Is that all? Because I'm not complaining if that's just what he wants to do for everything. But I'm curious if this is going to be like also a extremely like early 80s like inspired aesthetic.
It is set in the 80s.
Okay, well,
confirmed. I don't know if we have a year, because his first 2 movies were both in 1983 specifically. But I'm excited.
Panos Cosmatos worked on Tombstone.
Yeah,
that's how he got his start.
That was the first thing he worked on. His dad was the director.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a Nepo baby?
Yeah.
Listen, I don't know a whole thing about this. He saved his money up for fucking 19 years.
It doesn't make him a bad person.
I never said it did.
I know, but it's like you gotta
hold the fuck on. His dad directed Rambo 2?
Yeah,
he did.
This changes everything. Randy's the greatest movie ever made.
That's right. He did do Cobra. I haven't seen Cobra.
Yeah.
I want to watch Cobra.
I've not seen it. I just know. I'm just like, oh, it's Panos' dad's movie.
Yeah.
You guys ever seen Rambo 2? It's crazy.
I've seen all 5 of them.
It's Hollywood.
I've only seen the first one.
It's Hollywood tripling down on the Prisoner of War myth. It's kind of hilarious.
I've seen all 5 of them. The first one's the only one that's like a proper good movie, but like
you take that back about Rambo 2. Rambo 2 is so fucking awesome. Even though it's founded on the first Rambo's founded on kind of complete bullshit, but the second Rambo's especially founded on complete bullshit. They go to Rambo in prison and they're like, Rambo, you're the only guy that can go into the jungles of Vietnam and get these motherfuckers out. And like that's the movie. What was that? What was that one? Is 5 the one that's just like called John Rambo?
No. Rambo is the 4th one, and then 5 is Last Blood.
Oh, is that the one that had Old Town Road in the trailer?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take my horse. That
was a new song back then.
Yeah, they were doing nostalgia bait for a song that was like 3 months old. Speaking of nostalgia, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really nostalgic about the year 2020 and the COVID era and the lockdowns and all that. I'm really nostalgic about Tim, don't even let me finish. Tim just wants to be known. I do not agree. I disagree with these statements. I need this to be clear.
I disagree, Super Gary.
We're getting, we have the teaser trailer for Ari Aster's next film, Eddington, which appears to be another Joaquin Phoenix vehicle of him having a bad time. We saw the trailer, And on low key, I was like, finally, an artist willing to try and reckon with what COVID was. Feels like film has kind of avoided that. At the same time, though, some of the reviews are out, and it sounds like the people that weren't into Beau is Afraid also isn't into this one, which is a bad sign for me. But I don't know. I like Joaquin Phoenix. I like Pedro Pascal. I like Austin Butler doing whatever the fuck he's doing in that little TikTok clip in the trailer. So, you know, I'm down. But like, I don't know what this movie is. It's just a new Ari Aster movie.
Yeah, that was my impression too. I just feel like it's probably not worth trying to like figure out too specifically what's going to be going on. Just gotta see it for yourself. Yeah, I am probably in between you two on when it comes to Ari Aster and what was the late Beau is Afraid. I liked it. I wish I got more out of it. But
I was so excited for Beau is Afraid, and then I wound up like not liking it, which was very upsetting.
Yeah, I think each I don't know. I don't know if I liked it more or less than Midsummer, but I don't know. It feels like each movie of his, I just lose a little bit.
Well, I do think it's interesting. I loved Hereditary. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought, wow, I get the hype. And then immediately after watching Hereditary for the first time, I watched Midsummer, and I went, that was bad.
I agree. Well, I didn't think it was bad, but I did think it was very flawed.
Midsummer was done no favors being immediately followed by following Hereditary immediately. If there was time, I maybe would have liked it more, but it was just like immediately like, well, I know you can do better than this. I didn't care for Midsummer.
I guess my spiel, and like I hosted the Beau was Afraid episode, so I've
the forbidden episode, as it was the first episode that got us like into borderline legal trouble somehow.
Fucking, what was it, Turkey? Somebody in Turkey or
whoever owns the rights to Beau is Afraid in Turkey was like adamant that nothing about it on the internet should exist.
I was like legitimately so goddamn livid when that shit happened. But anyway, episode's back up. Go watch it after this, maybe, if you want. I don't know you. But yeah, my thoughts on Ari Aster as a director. I'm probably the biggest like stan, I guess, of him out of us. Like I really like all of his features, including Midsummer. I definitely agree Hereditary has been the strongest. I think that's pretty agreeable of a take. But I also like Midsummer, and Beau was Afraid was just clicked with me on a weirdly personal level. I guess just family issues, all that. And I've seen his short films too, at least the short films that are available publicly, and like those first two features he did kind of gave him this reputation as being a horror director, but like his short films and his features post Beau seem to be more on this wavelength of like this dark, kind of mean-spirited, edgy comedy, which it's not going to work for everybody, but I enjoy his weird, dark sense of humor. It appeals to me. It appeals to Austin. So I'm excited for this. If it is able to build on what I liked about Beau's Afraid, I'm in.
I'm glad.
I really liked
enough goodwill.
I really liked the first half of Beau is Afraid.
The first half of Beau is Afraid is pretty agreeable from what I can tell. The second half is where it challenges people.
Basically everything post that like play he starred in, everything after that, the movie just completely lost me. And Tim can vouch for this. I think my energy shifted as the movie went on. He was sitting right next to me. I do remember by the time the giant penis showed up, I in my head was thinking, I didn't say this out loud, but I wanted to. I said, I remember thinking, are you fucking kidding me? It just had lost the movie lost its goodwill for me at that point.
Dad's cock, baby.
I will say though, the chick restarting the song mid fucking, that was funny. That was like the last thing in that movie that made me laugh.
One of the reviews that I saw on Letterboxd for it was best use of Spotify in a movie.
Yeah, like that was hilarious. I was like, all right, that's funny. I'll give you that. And that was the last time the movie made me laugh. I have to say though, the first half of Beau is Afraid is probably buying whatever goodwill I have left with Aster. I don't like being a meanie. I don't like disliking things. But if this is like more the second half of Beau is Afraid, I might lose my fucking mind watching it. We'll see.
I will say, even if I end up like disliking this movie, I'm glad it exists.
No, same. Yeah. I think more artists, filmmakers should be exploring COVID. I think I understand everyone's like, but film is an escapism. Listen, in 2020, during 2020 when it was happening, no, of course. That was the last fucking thing I wanted. I still think every medical TV show was wrong at the time for immediately going, well, this is the COVID season, because that like ruined a bunch of TV for me. I think that was wrong at the time. Now that we're removed from it, I want to see art explore that. Well, yeah, I mean, COVID's still around, but you know what I mean.
I will also say that, you know, Beau is Afraid obviously was a big flop. So
boy,
I'm just excited
was
that
it.
I'm just glad that he's still able to get a movie funded.
Well, it looks like it's a lot cheaper. Looks like it's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, still, I'm just glad he's still able to make movies.
Watch me look up the Eddington budget, and it's like $200 million somehow.
Yeah, my hunch, I was worried that he was just, like, he was next movie was going to be a horror movie because it would have had to have been or something, because it's like...
Because he got canceled?
He would have had to go back. Because he would have to go back to that well before he could recoup enough goodwill to do something else like this, but hey, he didn't have to, at least not yet.
Oh, wow. $35 million. That's what Beau's Afraid cost.
Yeah.
30 It only cost. Oh wait, that's how much it made, or
that's what it cost. It made $12 million.
Okay.
Yeah. But hey, I saw it in theaters twice, so that's like $20.
Tim and I are in an elite club where we saw it in IMAX. Tim, unlike me, has seen the first 5 minutes of the movie. I never rewatched it, so I still don't know what happened. What we missed.
Yeah. Damn, 2 movie tickets for $20.
All you missed was basically the opening scene where Beau was being born, which is traumatizing. And I saw that shit high out of my fucking mind too. So
there's a scene where Beau is born?
That's the beginning of the movie, is Beau being born and then going into the therapist's office as an adult.
I like to imagine Beau came out as a fully formed adult.
Many such cases.
But yeah, Eddington is going to be a R-rated Western comedy, apparently. You know what isn't R-rated? The Toxic Avenger reboot, because it's officially unrated for ultra violence and mutant nudity and more. Fellas, I am so excited for this movie. I'm so glad it finally found a fucking distributor when it looked like it was being stuck in hell for a while. Which is so weird, because I remember thinking, why can't Troma just put this out on their own?
I assume because they just think it's too good to...
Troma's like, we can't sully our name with a good movie.
Truly. Well, no, hang on. They did distribute My Neighbor Totoro.
And also,
it released at least one good movie.
Wait, Troma distributed My Neighbor Totoro?
Like very, very early, like early 90s, late 80s or something. They distributed it briefly. Very, very weird history.
That's incredible.
But anyway, yeah, new Toxic Avenger. I'm excited. Yeah, I've seen a handful of trauma movies, and you go into trauma expecting trauma, and that's what I expect out of this. It's going to be just schlocky and cheesy and crass and over the top.
But it's going to be
So
all
that's
that.
what I'm
It's
here
going to be all that, but a version of which that gets a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes somehow, which is what it's currently
that
at, mind you.
That is fascinating, and stacked cast, directed by Macon Blair, who we talked about on the Green Room episode because he's Jeremy Saulnier's best friend.
Yeah, Macon Blair, who has done Don't Tell Me.
He was the presence in the Swamp Thing show, I want to say.
Oh, God, he's written a bunch of shit I do not like.
Oh.
He's always good in everything, though.
I only really know him as an actor. I don't know him as a director or writer necessarily.
He wrote a movie called Brothers last year that stars Peter Dinklage and Josh Brolin, and it was a giant piece of dog shit.
I was about to say, I never heard of that.
Because it's bad.
Damn.
Jacob Tremblay is in the new Toxic Avenger movie.
I feel like no one with the name Tremblay should be in a trauma film.
I feel like none of these people, like, why is Kevin Bacon here? Like, what are we doing? That's crazy.
It's sort of that thing, like, if you remember watching the Disaster Artist movie, at the beginning they show like all these celebrities talking about how much they love going to see The Room. It's probably a similar thing of like people growing up with trauma, and they're established big names, but they're just like, I love this and I want to be part of it.
Big news. 13 minutes ago, Jim Cummings accepted my Facebook friend request again. We are so back. We are so very back.
The latest and greatest of movie news.
Facebook, my old Facebook, the Facebook account I had for 15 fucking years got deleted last year. And I had a backup. I've moved over there pretty successfully. I honestly, the only thing that I miss is clicking on the memories thing and seeing what I was saying 12 years ago or whatever. But the thing that really sucked was like losing some of my Facebook friend request connections, especially that one. So I don't know why he suddenly accepted my friend request, but I'm happy about it.
Hell yeah.
Yes, Jim Cummings, director of Thunder Road and other such pictures.
3 5-star movies, if you ask me. Thunder Road, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and The Beta Test. And I can't wait to see what he directs next. I don't know what he has cooking.
Still haven't seen Thunder Road, but I do like his other 2 movies a lot.
I thought The Beta Test was great. I'm very ashamed I didn't get on that one. That recording.
That was the one that Jim Cummings saw, if you remember.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, I'm in LA. I could have seen you.
That was the crazy thing, because he immediately went, if you guys are ever in LA, come see me. And I'm thinking like, well, damn, poor Rein.
Yeah.
Because you had moved by that point, I think.
I wouldn't have even had to make up my appreciation for the movie.
Because it's awesome.
It was a great one. Yeah, once I finally got around to seeing it. Anyway, I forgot this isn't real news.
Avengers?
Well, let's move on. I'm just excited to hear that the Toxic Avenger is coming out in August. You know what's coming out in November, though?
What's that?
Predator Badlands. Well, that already came out. But Predator Badlands is coming out. The new Predator movie, directed by from the same team that brought us Prey, the last Predator movie. And the gimmick with this one is that the Predator himself is the protagonist. And you hear that and you think, why is it taking so long for someone to try that? Right?
Yeah, no, it's a no-brainer.
This movie's coming out the weekend of my wedding. What the fuck?
All right. Well, honeymoon, baby. Duh.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a honeymoon watch. Or if we can squeeze it in the Thursday before.
Right before you get married?
You really should have gotten married in like January or something.
No, because then that's interfering with my birthday.
Yeah. You don't want your anniversary. Trust me. I was in a relationship where her birthday was February 7th. My birthday was February 26th. And obviously, Valentine's Day is on February 14th. By the way, also our anniversary. So
I had a very similar predicament with one of my previous movies. That's true. The point is something about movies. I forgot what the point, the joke. I don't know. I forgot what.
How is it taking so long to make a Predator protagonist movie?
Oh yeah, no, it seems like a no-brainer. I know, at least speaking for myself, like my whole life, I didn't see any of those movies until like I was a teenager. As a kid, I was like, Predator, that's the coolest guy ever. And it's like the idea
Predator's the coolest guy I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. It seems like a premise that they've been itching towards, because I never saw the shitty autism one, Predator. I forget what it was.
The Predator.
The Predator. But it sounded like they were kind of making him the like there was one that was like kind of a hero or something. And like that's something they've done a lot. Like Alien vs. Predator has the.
I think Predators kind of explored that, and I think Predator is typically the quote unquote good side of the AVP movies.
Yeah. Yeah, so it makes sense. It is like you're right. It's weird they haven't done this already.
Like you made Terminator, and immediately the next thought was, okay, let's make him the good guy in the next one. You make Predator, and your next thought is, let's make a really cheesy '80s action movie called Predator 2. Like,
yeah, I'm interested. I don't have too strong of feelings for the Predator movies. But,
I mean, we all liked Prey, right?
Yeah, I actually haven't seen it. I've only seen.
What do you do all day?
I guess I'll read too much.
I love you, Rein, but I'll bring up this awesome movie that's on streaming, easily accessible, and Rain's like, never heard of it.
I know of Prey. I know of it. I know I like it.
I know of Prey. That's what a Predator says. I know of Prey.
But it seems like a nice direction to take the series, and also if you are going to have, this seems like a more clever way to have callbacks between the Alien universe, with the android character.
Yeah, the android appears to be an Alien universe android, which I mean, in my mind, all the Alien and Predator movies are happening in the same universe. So like,
yeah, but I can understand because like those movies are at best like kind of just like fun bad. So I can understand why like if like Predator and Alien fans were like wanted to treat it like they were separate.
It makes too much sense is the thing to me. Like honestly, thematic sense. The alien, at least in terms of what we've seen so far, is like a genetically perfect creature, while the Predator is like, I don't know. I mean, obviously they use technology, but they seem to have evolved.
They're always looking to top themselves.
Yeah, so. like of course it just makes thematic sense, but like,
yeah, basically echoing all of Rain's thoughts. This looks awesome. This
it is funny the haircut they gave the Predator, but
yeah, the design is definitely leaning towards like a younger, leaner Predator, but like it looks badass. It's gonna be a fun time.
A nice friendly Predator you can take home to your parents, or you can show introduce to your parents or something, but not so far that like it's still not cool looking.
Yeah. This is the Predator that goes to your girlfriend's dad and says, "Hello, sir, nice to meet you." And the Wyatt Weed Predator is the one that says, "Your daughter calls me daddy too."
That's so crazy.
We know someone who was a Predator. Wait, hold on. Yeah. Let me rephrase that. That's not good. I meant like a movie Predator, not like a real Predator.
He played the boar Predator in Predator 2.
He wore a costume. He has not preyed upon anyone. Wyatt Weed, if you are watching this, you are an awesome guy. You were very nice to me the one time we met.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for this. I think it looks awesome. I also hope it can play into my personal, I mean, it's not just mine. Other people say my personal fan theory about the Predator movies, which is that the Predators we see, the ones that actually go to the other planets to hunt, we view those guys the same way we view these redneck jackasses that go to Africa to shoot lions and shit.
Yeah, I've heard that theory a lot. I doubt they're going to do that, but it would be very fun.
It'd be very funny if like this Predator's like a normal guy. And like everyone, and like he hates those fucking, they use technology, man. They're fucking losers.
That would be cool. I feel like I know. I think the series is
because like
a little bit
hunters
too
do not
self-serious.
respect those people that shoot lions. You know what I mean in real life?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like proper hunters are like that's not fucking hunting. That's target practice. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, movie promising.
And I'm glad this one is getting a theatrical release instead of going straight to streaming.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of streaming, Max, Warner Brother Discovery streaming service Max is being rebranded to HBO Max, which is what it was called originally.
Yeah,
I guess
we got HBO Go, and then HBO Now, and then HBO Max, and then Max, and then HBO Max again.
I was having a stroke reading some of these headlines, man.
I wonder if they're going to make it purple again.
I missed the purple.
Like
the purple was nice.
Stood out. Yeah, I agree.
They made you download a whole new app when they made it Max. Are we gonna have to download HBO Max again?
Which is funny because one day HBO Go was HBO Go and then the next day it was HBO Max. So it was so fucking confusing that they made you re-download a new app for Max.
Zaslav is cooked. Zaslav is just cooked.
Except like all the Warner Brothers movies are killing at the box office this year, so like
yeah. I feel like that's in
so far.
of him, though.
Like
so
Final
far.
Destination has like its domestic weekend is like higher than I think every other Final Destination movie made like 55 million domestically lifetime. The new Final Destination just did that in its opening weekend.
I mean, Mickey 17 flopped.
Well, you can't win them all.
See about Superman.
Yeah.
Do not put if Superman flops, I'm killing myself.
Yeah.
Like if Superman flops, the DCU is over. Like they'll probably still release Supergirl because it wrapped, but like
If it's as good as we're expecting and it underwhelms financially, I'm gonna cry.
I'm worried because we
Every
talk
day.
about how like Superman is coming out the same month as Fantastic Four, and like, oh boy, what's the head to head of those two are going to be like? Guys, neither of those movies are going to be the highest grossing movie that comes out that month. Because the new Jurassic World movie also comes out in July.
Ooh.
I haven't been. Do those still do great numbers?
The last three have all made $1 billion.
That's crazy. I knew Jurassic World made a ton, but I never like paid attention to the
Fallen
box
Kingdom
office
did 1.3 billion, and then Jurassic World Dominion barely. It was barely, but it did cross the $1 billion mark.
Well, I guess
I've only
unless
seen
you want
the
to move
first-
on. I have a so like. Do those movies? Is it like a Transformers thing where it makes most of it like overseas, or is it like super big?
They do decent numbers domestically. I honestly, it's gonna sound. This is gonna sound like almost insulting, but I'm gonna be honest. I really think a lot of moviegoers. No, I don't mean it like that. A lot of moviegoers just see Dinosaur and go, "Fuck yeah!" Like here we go.
Yeah.
The last Jurassic World movie made $376 domestically. That was 37.6% of its overall gross. That's not nothing. 376 domestically? That's a fair chunk of change.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I
never hear people.
I only saw the first Jurassic World movie, and so the sequels just kind of don't exist in my brain.
Same, exactly the same. Yeah, Anyway, let's talk about movies we like, or unless we're supposed to talk about a movie we dislike next.
Well, you see,
There's been an awakening.
how much money? Yeah, that's what I thought. The first Jurassic World movie made $652 domestically.
That sounds about right. I do remember that one being a big deal,
Which
like when it came out.
It broke the record. It broke Avengers opening weekend record.
That makes sense. Yeah, that sounds right. But it's just like I feel like the other ones had like no. I just don't remember any like cultural hype or anything. It's just like they just came out.
People fucking love dinosaurs, and I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest.
makes
Fair and valid.
I kind of liked the last one. Okay.
I was surprised to see Scarlett Johansson.
Well, Gareth Edwards is doing this one, and like it has a real cast. And honestly, I watched the teaser trailer, and I kind of went, "They're about to fucking trick me again. They're about to fucking trick me again," because this kind of looks good.
It looks way better than I would expect from from yet another current day Jurassic Park movie.
And then we're gonna watch it, and then we're gonna be like, "Oh, this is horrible. Why did we fall for this again?"
Well, it doesn't look worth $30-$40 to see.
Oh yeah, so movies cost like a bazillion dollars.
Yeah, that's why I laughed. I was like, "Oh, seeing a movie twice for only $20? Haha."
That's less than what it cost me to see one.
Yeah, if you're lucky, $20.
There was a movie called Den of Thieves Pantera that came out this year. They just be making shit up.
It was Den of Thieves Pantera 2. Excuse you. So there was a whole first one before that one.
The Led Zeppelin documentary made more money than the Looney Tunes movie.
That sounds about right. Joe, no one outside of Joe V knows what the fuck a Looney Tunes is anymore.
Unfortunately.
Tragic.
Yeah, HBO Max is back, which honestly good. Just Max was a horrible name.
Yes.
Yeah.
HBO Max is way better.
Yes.
It just makes me wonder what the fuck was the point of changing it in the first place. Despite me,
I think it was like a whole thing with like royalties. I don't know the specifics.
The
I think
rumor,
they were trying to distance it from the network.
I heard the rumor is that they thought because they were bringing all the the trashy Discovery reality shows into the streaming service. The rumor I heard was they were scared they were going to tarnish the HBO brand name.
Makes sense. They take that brand seriously.
Shout out Chimp Crazy. I know at least two people who worked on that. Devin Dillon and that one PA that was on Red Eye Skies. I'm blanking on her name. Desiree.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
And him.
That lady got her monkey taken away. Did you see that?
She had a monkey?
Is that what the whole?
The person in the documentary.
No.
Oh, not the PA. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, I worked on a whole feature with someone who owns a monkey and I never even knew. I was so pissed.
How did that never get brought up?
Like she just never brought that one up at lunch.
That is the greatest misunderstanding I've ever heard in my life.
Everyone's back.
Rein's back.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing we're talking about Warner Brothers movies because it sounds like Warner Brothers and Denis Villeneuve is putting a fast track on the next Dune movie. Dune 3 will probably be called Dune Messiah. And Robert Pattinson is being circled for a villain role. I hope they make him bald.
Hell yeah. I don't know anything about Dune outside of the movie, so I can't speculate who he's going to play, but never bad news.
Yeah,
Never.
I know they had said the name of the character that he would be likely playing in the article. I can't remember. I also haven't read the books.
He'd be playing Scytale.
Okay. I'm interested in the books and would like to potentially read them at some point. I've just, been falling behind on reading in general in the last couple of years. But, Robert Pattinson, good actor. So I'm down. And, the Dune movies thus far have been consistently good. And I hear Messiah's crazy.
It is. Basically what happened is that Frank Herbert went, "What the fuck do you idiots mean? You do not want to cheer for this white boy. Watch this." That's basically
the only thing I love more than cocaine is the boundless light of Islam.
That's honestly, Frank Herbert was that low key. Frank Herbert was like totally in love with Islam. And to be fair, other than Catholics, I think Islam is a pretty close second in terms of religious aesthetics. Maybe the Buddhism is up there. Buddhism kind of has some hard aesthetics too.
Eastern Orthodox also.
Yeah, good call.
Cool looking.
But Catholic got to be number one, right?
Probably
for aesthetics.
It is a toss up between. It is a toss up between them and Islam broadly.
Yeah, like I was raised Catholic, and I would sometimes go to like more Baptist leaning churches because my sister married somebody who was Baptist and converted. So comparing those two things is just like, oh no, we got a way cooler one at home. Never mind.
Yeah, Catholicism is like really cool, but also like from what I understand, like all the masses are so gosh darn long. I'm sorry. I feel like I shouldn't say the other thing in this context. That feels rude.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the masses, the Catholic masses are usually about an hour, which is a lot.
I would just love for someone who has never seen our show before to tune in on this moment and hear us discussing the length of Catholic Mass and go, what does this have to do with movie news?
I was once at a Easter Saturday night Mass. Shit was 3 hours long.
I've heard the Christmas Eve Mass takes like half the day. I've heard the Christmas Eve Mass. The Christmas Mass takes like half the day. I've heard rumors of this.
I've heard horror stories. The midnight Mass. I've never done that.
Yeah,
good show. I've heard.
That's just nuts.
Heard it's a good show.
I've heard so too.
Pisses me off that Hamish Linklater isn't related to Richard Linklater. That pisses me off. Get a different name.
Wouldn't let it happen to me personally. Me, Sullivan.
Yeah. Range is sitting here thinking, who's Hamish Linklater?
Yes, correct. I was just going with the bit.
I could see it in your eyes that you had no. I could see it in your eyes. You were like desperate to try and know who I was talking about.
Damn,
he's an actor.
How was that transparent? I mean, I figured that.
And speaking of actors, Dwayne Johnson is allegedly an actor. And, and it looks like we're going to see his acting talents put stretched to its fullest in the upcoming A24 movie, The Smashing Machine. We got a first trailer of this, and guys, I'm going to say it first off, the makeup team is doing incredible work because Dwayne Johnson looks downright unrecognizable in this trailer.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, he looks the most unrecognizable in the shot that he's bald, which is funny because you think it would look more like him.
Yeah.
I will admit, talk away about it. I will admit this is the one trailer I did not get we're talking about today, I did not get a chance to see. I'm going to watch it as soon as we're done. I just,
we've been speculating about this for a while, that this was Dwayne Johnson attempting to do a serious acting. And honestly, it looks like it might be a by the numbers biopic. I'm suspecting there might be something more at play because it's a Safdie doing it.
Yeah.
I think this looks great. Tim, did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I actually saw it in front of Thunderbolts and then watched it again this morning because I was like, what the hell is the Smashing Machine? I saw that one. But yeah, I think it looks good. I need to know if this is in the same cinematic universe as the Iron Claw.
I was thinking the same damn thing.
In any case, looks good. I'm glad that The Rock is getting a chance to do some more serious acting because
he's producing this. He wants to do it.
Yeah. I'm glad he's giving himself a chance to do some serious acting. Looks good.
Sorry.
Mark Kerr is a first off, I think I'll just put this out of the way. Mark Kerr is still alive. So that might be worth keeping in mind. So you don't maybe have expectations for the movie. Mark Kerr is very much still alive. Mark Kerr is a real person though. So this isn't like Dwayne Johnson wants an Oscar nomination because it's not just this, guys. I didn't put this in the docket, but it sounds like that Martin Scorsese movie starring Dwayne Johnson is actually getting made.
Oh shit.
Mostly because I think it's because you attach Dwayne Johnson to the project and all of a sudden people are willing to give Martin Scorsese money again. Which is depressing, but at the same time, I'm really curious to see a Martin Scorsese directed Dwayne Johnson performance. But I'm just really curious to see Dwayne Johnson do something serious because I have always maintained I know he can do it. I have always believed he had the capability to do it. And now he wants to try because Black Adam flopped and it broke his brain.
Yeah. No, that sounds about right. I was the same way where it's like the last time I've seen him like really try, I guess, is like Southland Tales or something. Which
Good
wasn't
movie.
I mean, good movie? Is that what you said?
I like that movie. Leave me alone.
I appreciate it. I haven't seen it since early college. I can't.
I like the part where the lady's like, "Let me suck your dick or I'll kill myself."
Forgot about that. But yeah, point is, I wonder how much of it's like an ego thing and how much of it's made like a business thing where it's like, man, the profits are going down. I gotta be in some good stuff so my big money stuff does better. Probably more the former. I don't know. Or maybe it is genuine. It's just like, hey, I should actually dust off the old acting muscle.
I'm willing to. I'm betting it's like a combination of things. You know, he wants to prove that he can do it. And he also wants the movies he's in to like, because some of them have not been doing too hot at the box office, so he feels like he needs to make his name respected again. And he also needs a backup plan, as it were, if his movies ever really stop making money consistently, to prove like, I can do serious acting, so let me make stuff still.
And no matter what's in it, is like, no matter like, what he's got pumping through his veins, like he can only like do action star stuff for so long.
I mean, eventually he's gonna have to stop. He's gonna have to stop doing steroids. Which he is. Yeah. He is doing steroids. He is in his 50s. I'm sorry, it's not possible. In your 50s, no.
Even in your 20s, like achieving that without steroids is like,
it's difficult, like, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, but
in your 50s, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Tanner, it's just simply about drive and power.
It's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Put in the work. Put in the hours and take what's ours. You know what else is about drive, about power?
What's that?
A Christopher Nolan IMAX picture. Which is great to bring up because I'm very excited about this, guys. Just announced this week that Christopher Nolan's, the movie he is following Oppenheimer with, The Odyssey, will be the first movie shot entirely on IMAX film cameras. So that doesn't mean like, because here's the thing. A lot of movies are entirely like the Avengers Endgame and Avengers Infinity War. If you saw those movies in IMAX, it was the same aspect ratio the entire time. That's 1.9 IMAX. That's LIMAX, if you were. It's a bigger picture, but it's not the full thing. This entire movie is going to be in 1.43 IMAX, guys. And if that's true, we're going to Branson. We're going to Branson for this one. We're going to hope we're going to hope the Science Center gets this one, which that's inconsistent.
This is going to be the greatest white man epic ever made.
Oh my God.
Say that.
Ben-Hur, eat your fucking heart out. That's what I'll say about that.
This sounds very cool.
I'm so hyped for, let's get Swords and Sandals come back. We're overdue it. Yeah.
Well, like I read the article that was in the docket where like it was talking about how Christopher Nolan basically ordered IMAX to make like lighter, less noisy cameras so that he could use them more in his movies. And
they were like, "Yes, sir, Mr. Nolan."
Yeah, they're changing camera technology for this movie, which is fascinating.
Yeah, I'm all for it. This is gonna be awesome, right, Rein?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no complaints. I know I froze out for a while, so I didn't get to say much. I don't really have much to say, but it's like, it's nice it's finally happening, and of course it's nice it's happening with Nolan. So what is there to complain about?
Your mama
got his ass.
Ain't no coming back from that one, Rein. But Rein, you've been talking a lot about how expensive it is to see a movie around your parts.
That's true.
Do they still have do they do like $6 ticket Tuesdays?
Not anymore, I don't think.
Oh, well maybe this news. This news I'm about to tell you might bring your spirits up, because AMC has announced they're going to slash their movie ticket prices by 50% on Wednesdays, which is not quite as stark as what it is on Tuesdays, I don't think, but it's pretty close. So that's going to be a second discount day of the week, which makes sense. I've always told people Wednesday is historically the slowest day at a movie theater. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's the weekend. Those are your prime days. Monday, you're getting some stragglers from the weekend. Tuesday, you have the discount Tuesday. That gets a lot of people in. Thursday, you have like the midnight screenings for movies that have started as early as fucking 2 p.m. now.
Yeah.
But Wednesday has always been the slowest day of the week, so this is going to bring people in. This is not like movie news per se, it's movie theater news, but I think it's important to bring up because I think it's going to impact our industry if it actually works, because as far as I can tell, I don't think the thing with Discount Tuesdays is that like the theater chains have an agreement with the studios to do that. As far as I can tell, AMC is just going to be eating the cost of the tickets on Wednesdays.
I mean, I could still see like the business logic behind it. I'm hoping.
Well, they're hoping to make it up in concessions.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to. I've gone to an AMC like very sporadically over the last couple of years. Like I think the Esquire is the closest one to me now.
Yeah, that's the one in like Clayton, which miraculously didn't get hit.
I've gone handful of times in the last couple of years, but I haven't really been going to AMC theaters lately. Mostly Alamo, other local theaters, and Marcus whenever there's something that's like not playing at the Alamo that I want to see. Those are usually my go-tos, but this might bring me into the AMC theaters more.
I don't go to AMC often because the closest theater to me is a Regal. Like the nearest AMC is like twice the distance. But who knows? Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, this means nothing to me because I pay for AMC A-List, which gets me, used to be 3, now 4 movies a week for $20 a month.
Yeah,
I pay for
I would
that.
get it. I live closer. But...
Well, you see, yours is like $30 a month, I think.
That makes sense.
It's more like it's the most expensive in New York and California.
Yeah, of course.
Like there's different tiers to it, but still $30 a month. In your situation, it sounds like as long as you see 2 movies a month, you make your money back.
Yeah, pretty much.
But basically, I also pay for Alamo Season Pass. I very rarely pay for movie tickets.
Yeah.
People wonder, damn, Tanner, how can you go all the time? Well, I pay $40 a month and I basically get unlimited movies.
And other people drive you.
And well, most often my sister nowadays. But once I get a car, that's hell. Sometimes I take a bus. Like there's a bus that goes.
Get the car, it's over for you hoes.
It's over for you hoes. The AMC in Creve Coeur, that's a single bus route for me. There's a bus that like drops off right outside. That's like just it's right outside the Harley Davidson near my apartment. If you guys know where I'm talking about, there's a bus stop there that takes me straight to the AMC in Creve Coeur. And then to get to the Alamo, it's a bus and a train. And then I have to cross a highway entrance, which is a little scary, but public transit in St. Louis for you. Rein and I were talking about that earlier. But this is cool, and I hope it brings more people to the movies because the movie theater industry, it's been rough the last 5 years. I think they're on a bounce back. But we aren't truly back until like low to mid-budget movies start consistently making money again. And I don't know if we're ever going to get there because we unfortunately have trained audiences to just watch that at home. But I do think people say you can't put the genie back in the bottle. I don't think it's a genie. And if it was, I do think we can put this one back in the bottle. Simply give movies a 3-month run in theaters before you do anything. Just 3 fucking months. If you just start consistently doing that again, I think it can change things. But unfortunately, it seems like only big blockbusters get to do it. And speaking of big blockbusters, our final topic for the night. Sean Levy's Star Wars movie is real. It seems to have some actual momentum behind it, and it's going to star Ryan Gosling. And it's called Star Wars Starfighter. We don't know much beyond what I just told you. I am personally speculating based on the title alone that this might be the remnants of Patty Jenkins's Rogue Squadron movie, maybe. I don't know if that's for sure, but I could see that being the case, that they might be trying to salvage what's left from that. I still don't believe that Disney knows how to make Star Wars movies anymore. And I'm going to be honest, The Mandalorian and Grogu, when it comes out, won't count. Because that's a glorified TV show episode. I don't care if you make Jabba the Hutt's son buff, played by Jeremy Allen White. What the fuck is Star Wars? Andor Season 2 is so good. Why is this the next thing? Starfighter, you guys excited?
I am very neutral. Sean Levy, he's the Free Guy, right?
He's the Free Guy, and most recently the Deadpool and Wolverine guy.
Oh right, yeah.
I'm less excited now.
I'm not super hot on him as a director.
He made Real Steel. That movie rules.
Haven't seen that.
Good things.
He made Night at the Museum.
That one sounds fun. Ryan Gosling, he could be fun in one of these. I don't know. It'll sure be a movie if it gets finished.
He directed The Internship.
Wait, that Google movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I never saw.
Why are you? You're not getting me more excited.
He directed The Pink Panther.
Tanner, know when to stop.
He directed Big Fat Liar.
Yeah, what I was going to say originally, before I found out all these allegations,
before all of these things
director,
were thrust upon you.
I like how you referred to directing the Pink Panther movie as an allegation.
Definitionally. Oh shit. All right, I'm back. What was I going? Oh yeah, before I found all that out, I was going to say, like, my answer would be like Tim's if I wasn't so fresh off of season 2 of Andor. But also, I had to realize that, I can't expect the next Star Wars thing to be on that quality.
But you should.
But
sorry,
it is nice if all we know is it's going to be a Star Wars movie and it's going to be about Starfighter.
And it's going to star Ryan Gosling, and Mikey Madsen apparently said no.
Yeah. But hopefully it'll be I don't know, maybe it'll be like a cool racing movie, or maybe it'll just be all cool driving stuff, but it's
here. I'll count all the good Star Wars things that have come out post Rise of Skywalker. Andor.
Yeah.
We liked Skeleton Crew. We both liked Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
I liked
it's
Kenobi.
So great. I didn't see it.
Yeah, we should probably keep it that way. I don't know if I'd liked it if I rewatched it now.
I liked the first 2 seasons of Bad Batch. I still haven't seen the third one, but I like Bad Batch.
I only saw season 1 of Visions, but Visions was mostly.
Yeah, see, the problem is it's not post Rise of Skywalker, but the first season of The Mandalorian's good. And I really liked season 2 of The Mandalorian at the time. However, unfortunately, it seems to me that Patient Zero, that the origin point of everything that's wrong with Star Wars now, can all be traced back to the season 2 finale of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's where it all went wrong, evidently. We should have been more. I like that because you know what? I liked that at the time, in part because I thought it was a series finale, not an omen.
Yeah.
That's a good description.
Like, if I had known that was all Star Wars was going to be after this, I think I would have hated it.
Yeah.
I at the
that's a
time
correct
was
statement.
I at the time was even a little iffy about it because I was just like the
No,
cool
same.
thing about I think the cool thing about Mondo is that like all of the characters from like previous Star Wars things that they're bringing in are kind of like mostly side characters. And then Luke coming in was just all right. What are we doing?
Well, Luke coming in again, it would have made sense in the context of Mando giving up his son, taking off his helmet, letting go of that archaic religious fanaticism that was clearly bad for his character development. It worked as a perfect conclusion to his character arc. And then Disney realized that Grogu toys made them too much money. So they decided to undo the character development in the middle of Boba Fett's show, which, by the way, I guarantee you if I watched Boba Fett now, I would hate it.
Yeah. I didn't care much for it at the time.
I liked it at the time. I that's the thing. I can't go back and watch this stuff. I liked it. And it's so funny. The shit I'm complaining about with Star Wars is the shit I go, yay, Marvel for. You know what? I don't want my Star Wars to be Marvel. I want my Star Wars to be Star Wars. It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still like Marvel stuff. Even with the MCU at its worst when it's at its worst. But like my enjoyment of Star Wars is taking like a permanent negative hit ever since like the fandom has gotten how it was in Rise of Skywalker. Those like that 1-2 punch. It's just like I don't know.
The problem is that Marvel understands that Marvel, despite having a core passionate fan base, that one core passionate fan base is composed of all demographics, and two, all demographics enjoy Marvel. Yeah. While the Star Wars Lucasfilm seems to think only a specific type of person actually cares about Star Wars anymore, which, to be frank, has never been true.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Skeleton Crew, I did really like Skeleton Crew. I would probably like The Acolyte if I ever went back and watched it. But it seems like Lucasfilm really wanted to pound that one to the curb because they outright said that one was canceled, which they never fucking do for these streaming shows. They just kind of quietly stop making them.
I watched most of The Acolyte, and I thought it was fine.
See, if Tim thinks it's just fine, I don't know. Tim seems to have more goodwill towards Star Wars than I do at this point.
I mean, I haven't watched a lot of the stuff in the last couple of years. But
Skeleton Crew is really good. I really liked Skeleton Crew. I can't emphasize that enough. I thought it was solid. Rain and I both liked it. Rain's frozen right now, unfortunately. But I really like Skeleton Crew, and I know he did too.
Maybe.
Yeah, Skeleton Crew. We're both talking about how we liked it.
Yeah, I love how that and how that and Andor are in the same universe.
I do too. And you know what? I like the Fallen Order games. Those are cool.
You get around to them.
There's still stuff in Star Wars I like. So maybe I'll like this. I don't know. Sean Livy. I don't know.
I will watch the Maul show because Maul is my guy. And
there's a Maul show now?
They're announcing a fucking Maul cartoon because they don't know how to fucking let go of character. Sorry.
I'm gonna watch it because Maul's my guy.
I love Darth Maul, but like I feel like they've done everything with him that you can do.
What happened to mystery? What happened to intrigue? Why do we have to explore every inch of every character's backstory?
Yeah.
I get it. I no offense, Tim. I get it. You like Maul. I won't watch that show. I'm not watching. That's the thing. I never miss a Marvel thing except What If for some reason. I'm never missing like an MCU thing. But like when it comes to this fucking Star Wars shit, I'm over it. I'm just Mandalorian season 3 broke something in me that I don't know I can get back. Once again, it's like we never finished that vidcast series, but I still have the recording, and you can hear me in real time realize I don't like Star Wars anymore, which sucks. When I was a kid, Star Wars was my everything. I liked it more than Marvel. What the hell happened?
Yeah. It I don't know what it is. My childlike joy for superhero stuff is still with me in adulthood, but not Star Wars.
I think it's because Star Wars, the worst of Star Wars lately, has been worse than the worst of Marvel, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, the worst Marvel has been like Thor, Love and Thunder. Okay. Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is probably at the same level of the worst of Star Wars lately. But I've also completely
That was only one
erased.
thing.
I've erased Secret Invasion from my mind. I just got a text from someone asking, "Are you watching it?" Which I can only imagine is talking about the rehearsal, which I'm pretty sure started airing 15 minutes ago.
Shame.
Answer is no.
Yeah, I'm live streaming, Lauren. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about? Starfighter. I will because you know what? Maybe it's because all the Star Wars shit lately has been TV shows, and I've always been more of a movie guy.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
So maybe I'll like Starfighter. Maybe I'll like The Mandalorian and Grogu, even though I have like no desire to see those characters ever again. We'll see.
She starred my fighter until I Ryan Gosling.
How do I leave? How do I make Rein leave the call?
This is my first time making one of those jokes. You get a pass like every 2 passes a day. I make one. That doesn't seem very fair.
Illegal votes.
Illegal votes. Folks, she Hannibal on my lector till I asylum.
Sure.
All right. I say that's a wrap for this episode of Jump Cuts. So before I do my outro, I know nobody's really watching live, and if anybody is watching live, they're from the area. This past Thursday, May 15th, the city of St. Louis was absolutely devastated by a Category F3 tornado. Large swaths of our city are still without power. A lot of people have lost their homes. A lot of people have lost, thankfully, only 5 fatalities in the city of St. Louis, but that's still 5 whole souls lost, which is devastating. And we could use your help. If you have any money you can spare, if you could go to the United Way of Greater St. Louis website. I am trying to find their URL now. If you just go to Linktree /United Way STL, you will see a link where you can donate to the relief fund. The city of St. Louis needs a lot of help right now. I know other regions, I know especially Kentucky has been hit hard. But this is our city, even though Rein chose to leave it for some reason. We love this city, and we are being devastated right now. So if there's anything you could do to help, we would be so grateful if you could just throw a couple bucks. I'll probably try and include that link in the description of the YouTube and Spotify uploads as well. It's been scary, but we're going to build back. We're going to be stronger. We're a good community here, and we just need a little help right now. Okay. Now that that's out of the way, thank you so much for tuning in to Jump Cuts if you're watching live. If you are listening to the next day upload on any of the audio platforms we're on, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. How about you mosey on down below and leave a review? It helps boost the algorithm or something. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. But before I say anything else, how about you mosey on down over to our Patreon? $5 tier gets you access to commentary tracks. The $10 tier gets you a shout out at episodes. So my mom, Tanya Kraft, thank you so much for contributing to our Patreon. Really appreciate it. If you want to give us money in a different way, we have merch now. So if you head on over to bombsquadproductions.shop, we have shirts, we have hats, we have posters, we have some magnets, some stickers, a lot of cool stuff. And the money, some of it goes to us. Maybe make an order now. I have not been informed by our supplier about anything in regards to tariffs impacting our pricing, but that is obviously a possibility in the near future. So if you want to get merch, you should get it now.
Yeah, you can't get this shirt, but
yeah,
you can get this shirt.
Oh my God, is he wearing? Yeah! He can get that shirt.
Josh.
He's getting
Order
that
down.
shirt. He's getting that. Have you been wearing 2 shirts, sweating this whole time? That's great. That's
almost
beautiful.
summer.
I feel different.
It's almost summer, and he's wearing 2 t-shirts. Incredible. But you can get a shirt like that of your own. You can't get the other one because that's a logo we don't use anymore. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. How about you mosey on in the comment section below and let me know. Are you excited for Superman? Are you excited for Fantastic Four? Do you think the stunt design Oscars should implement choreography? HBO Max versus Max. How about that? Isn't that crazy? And finally, will Star Wars ever make me feel like a little boy again? Comment below and let me know. And while you're down there, hit the like button so we know how much you like us. Hit the subscribe button so we know how much you love us. Hit the bell icon to know exactly when we upload new videos. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Where